All right, so welcome to the Six Man Podcast, where we talk about Philippine basketball and, of course, speak to the stars of today and tomorrow. So, what I have for you guys tonight is a former Ateneo Blue Eagle and now one of the main stars of the Meralco Bolts, Aaron Black. Everybody, what's up?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yun, and I was speaking with Aaron for a few weeks already, and actually, yung story namin ni Aaron goes back to NBA cards. So we're very random friendship where it started. And
Yeah,
I'm glad that we could actually speak beyond cards and talk about basketball and hopefully things outside basketball after this podcast.
for sure.
And Aaron, so like I told you, I want to focus on your journey here after your stint with Ateneo. So what did you want to work on with sa game mo after your last two seasons with Coach Tab? Or maybe where your mind was after choosing to forgo your final year in the UAP during that time?
Well, to be completely honest, after I left Ateneo, I was the thought was there of not playing basketball anymore.
Oh, it was there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of players, that not a lot of players go uh sit out their last year or they don't play their last year at all,
Yeah.
basically, and then go to the PBA. That doesn't really happen often. So,
Mm.
for me, it was there. The thought was there. I wasn't completely okay with it, but at the same time, a part of me was also trying to accept the fact that it could be done. Um, I actually had a prior injury that same year. I had a herniated disc, which is not a it's a serious injury. I was out for 12
Yeah.
weeks. The whole time I was playing my last year, I was taking painkillers almost every day just to be
Grabe
able
nga
to
yun.
practice and keep up. So I went to Europe with my family, came back after about a month, didn't do much in Europe of working out, just stationary bike, some upper weights. When I came back, I played a pickup game and my back pain completely went away.
So
So I took
doon mo
it,
naramdaman. That's where you felt it na, whoa, it's not
yeah, it
there
was
anymore.
gone. It was gone. So I took it as kind of a sign. And at the same time, my dad had a little plan for me to go to Vegas and train. I trained there for a month, and then continue on to the MPBL and the D League. But yeah, that was my mindset, bro. In terms of what I wanted to work on, it was really I knew, and my dad kind of being in the PBA for so long, he knew that being about 6 feet 6'1", it would be a big advantage to be a point guard. And I never really played that in Ateneo. So, being a bigger guard in the league, like you see guys like Chris Ross be so successful being a big guard in the league. And that's somebody I looked up to. So, when he told me that, I really wanted to work on that. It wasn't an easy process, but that's one of the things I really wanted to work on from Ateneo. And of course, the outside shot as well.
What made you say that it wasn't easy to work on? Because I think at Ateneo you were used to say three, right? Minsan
Two,
forward
three,
ka eh.
yeah.
Two,
Two, three,
three.
yeah. Yeah. Uh well, bro, being a point guard, you can't really just train for that. You gotta be put into the fire. You gotta be put into games, into practices where you're
It's
actually
the
playing
reps.
it. So you can't just say, okay, I'm gonna work on my dribbling for 1 month and then I'm gonna be a point guard. It can't really happen because it's not really just about bringing the ball down. It's about getting people to their spots, making sure that you can see what the defense is doing, be 2 3 plays ahead. So up to now, it's always gonna be a process of learning. But at the same time, I think at that time it
At that
was
time.
far it was a far fetched thing for me now. Okay, I'll be able to play point in the PBA, but thankfully it worked out.
All right, we're gonna get there, especially sa PBA. But just take things
Yeah.
by your career progression, sakto. So 2019, you mentioned that you started off your pro career with the Quezon City Capitals. I think my research there is correct. You had a triple
Mhm.
double against Binyan City and average numbers that are far from what I have seen in your production and people back with Ateneo. So what changed for you dun sa MPBL and where did that confidence come from?
Well, I started off in MPBL. Went to look for a team where I could actually play point guard. That was the
Okay.
biggest thing.
In,
It just so happened that my neighbor owned a team or was part owner of a team, which was Quezon City, and they pitched to me. Even though Quezon City didn't really have the up to now. I don't think they have the best budget of the teams,
right
but at
now,
the same
oh,
time,
pati ngayon eh.
they said that they would give me the freedom to play point guard to learn on the job. So that's what happened. And from there, I had Tonino Gonzaga, who's my neighbor, who's somebody that I grew up with there. So it was kind of comfortable for me to be in that environment. And at the same time, I got to learn a lot at QC about being a point guard, about just the grown man game of being a semi or a professional player.
Great. And now that you mentioned that, I have a question. Like back with Ateneo, but did you have especially your senior upperclassman, do you have like a say like, hey, coach, how about could you say like can I play point guard during this time? Can I play more of the guard duty? Do you guys have the freedom to express for stuff like that?
Uh, I mean, for me, college is completely different.
It's the completely
I don't think you really have that freedom in college that you kind of do in the pros. Especially if you're more established in the pros, you can kind of go to your coach and say, I want to work on this, let's do this. In college, it's more, it's more dictatorship. I think if you ask any
most
college
naman,
coach or
yeah,
college player,
yeah.
because it's hard. College players are young. They don't really know what they need yet, what's best for them, and usually the coach does. Um, so yeah, not really. I never really, kind of talked about it with my dad, but not never really with the coaching staff in college.
So after QC Capitals, you took a different route, this time with the AMA Education Titans. And this is where I saw the games where there were a lot more triple doubles. Like it was really high production levels, especially at 45 points, 18 assists, 12 rebound games. And again, what was going through your mind as you were tearing the league throughout that time? Was that the point where you told yourself, I think I'm ready for the PBA, or not yet?
Actually, I went first to the Jones Cup to play,
Jones Cup.
and I was one of the youngest guys on that team. I played with Ronaldo Balkman and Eugene Phelps and even Jeremiah Gray and Mikey Williams, all these guys. And just after that experience and being able to keep up with the national teams of other countries, I felt like coming back, I had a lot of confidence. And that's when the D League started. And that's sort of when, at the same time in the MPBL, I was able to start showing out. So, in the D League, I just, I started off really well. We lost the game, but my game wise, I started off really well, and then we went on a little bit of a run. And yeah, I think after producing those numbers, I kind of thought, okay, I might be able to hang with these guys in the PBA. But of course, you never really know till you get there. My confidence was at a high, but at the same time, I knew there was a long way to go.
And during that time, the Jones Cup, who are you usually matched up with in practice? Is it Mikey, or it's mostly the guards, right?
Uh, if I'm not mistaken, it was either Mikey or Jason Brickman. He was on our team, or Jeremiah as well. Just basically some of the guards that were there. I think that was pretty much our guard lineup, the four of us. So.
And grabe yung matchups mo. Imagine Brickman and then change to Mikey Williams to more of a scorer. Because I think Jason's more of a John Stockton type of player,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He prefers
yeah.
to feed his teammates.
Great experience. That was a great experience for me, just being around those guys. Even Mikey. I mean, Mikey's only been in the league a couple of years, but Mikey's already 33, if I'm not mistaken. He's been all over the world. So, just being able to play against those guys gave me a lot of confidence moving forward.
Now that we're here, I mean, after getting drafted by the Meralco Bolts in 2019, I'm sure there were a lot of noise from a lot of people out there because, of course, your dad is the coach of Meralco. Everybody knows that. Would you say you were able to block out all the noise easily since you were already playing amazing heading into the PBA draft prior to getting injured?
At the start, yes. Partially probably because it was I got drafted and the pandemic hit.
Yun nga eh,
So I had all
biglang
this
ano eh.
time. I had like 7 months to train, and I trained every single day. I ran the hills at home. I trained with my dad on the court 2 hours a day, every day. Did my weights and everything. So going into the bubble, I had confidence. I knew I would
Yeah.
be in better condition than everybody else, and I knew that I could, at least compete. So in the bubble, I didn't really hear any of that at
Wala
all.
masyado.
And also because there's no fans in the arena and we're kind of secluded from everybody else. But when we went back to Manila after I won the Rookie of the Year, and I got a lot of hate for that, because I think I beat out Arvin Tolentino. So a lot of the Ginebra fans,
Oo nga pala kasi
which
Hinebra yung
of course,
kalaban mo eh.
they support
Yeah.
their team, so I don't blame them. We're hating on it saying it was because of my dad and things like that. That's when it started to be a little bit hard for me to block things out. And it wasn't till um, the Magnolia series that we had right before we went to the finals against Ginebra. I was game 5 that I started to be able to block it out again. So it was a little bit of a struggle before that in that conference. Trying to I'd never gone through something like that. So
Oh,
the
wild talaga yung
situation,
hate. Like they really go to your
yeah,
DMs and everything.
yeah, DMs, mentions,
Facebook.
everything. Not I'm not really on Facebook like that. I don't really go through the comments and stuff.
Mostly IG and Twitter.
IG, Twitter, yeah. So yeah, when it was a little bit of a different experience for me, and ultimately made me stronger because now, I'm starting not to really, or I'm better off not really worrying about what people say. So it's something I guess I had to go through as well.
Who was like? Did you consult somebody like when it comes to how to handle that kind of hate? Did you speak with someone, a friend or a teammate, when it comes to that,
No,
or you kept it to yourself?
I actually saw and this was later on. This
Yeah.
was when it started to get really tough for me, and I saw I forget his name. I only saw him once. I think I have him on my phone, but he's Coach Marcos Manalo. He's Heidelin Diaz's
Okay.
uh shrink basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, he helped me. He helped me a lot. Just simple things that I still use up to now. And at the same time, just meditating, praying, reading the Bible, things like that. Just helped me a lot. Meditation. If you ask anybody who's gone through something like that, meditation's a big thing. And
Definitely.
I made the decision that every night before the game, I delete all my social media, and I wouldn't put it back on till the next day after the game. If we're playing a series, I
Um,
might not put it on almost the whole series. Of course, you're gonna have to put it on at some point because people message you and things
and
like
they had to
that. But
reach out to you.
but I try. At that time I tried my best to stay away as much as possible.
Oh, so you delete the apps. Like, okay, I have a game tomorrow. I'll delete it. I'll reinstall it tomorrow. That's how it is for you.
Every before the game, I do it up to now.
Dang.
For me, it's also because the next day I don't want to be on my phone. So it's not really just because I don't want to see people say this or that, because we could have a game that's not the playoffs and people are not too worried about it, or the fans are not really that it's not like in the finals, right? Every game is being talked about. So for me, it was more of, I don't want to be on my phone. I just want to focus on the game, and I just want to focus on the goal of that day. So yeah.
And we definitely see it, especially actually ever since your rookie year, it just keeps on climbing up the production and everything, especially the confidence level. So with that, how were the first practices like with Meralco? And I always wanted to ask you this, but is it true that Coach Norman was harder on you than most guys? May ganun bang aspect being the coach's
uh
son?
yeah, of course, because well, to answer your first question, the
Yeah. The
practices,
first, yeah.
the guys tried to test me to start. Even my own roommate Bong, who I accidentally hit in his groin, the first or the second practice,
First,
and ever since then we've been close. Me and Bong. But yeah, they tried to test me. It wasn't easy at first. The whole dynamic of having your dad as a coach, it's never happened to us before. The second question, yeah, he was. I think it's because we were in a bubble.
mm,
You could easily, after practice, still talk. He could still ask you to go to his room. We would still talk about the games. Now, as we started to go back to Manila, and now, recently before he was moved over to consultant, we stopped going to the games together. Because
para
I also
there's
have
a
my
separation.
meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then we would, of course, if we had to, but even going home, we didn't do it on purpose. It's not like I went and told him like, oh, let's not go to the game, but it just happened, and it actually made it a lot better because now I get to, before the game, I get to handle my thoughts, and I get to the game, and we can talk right before the game about, oh, what should we do today. At the same time, when you get home, you had already, if you lost or you'd won, you gathered your thoughts already. Once you get home, you guys can talk about it without really being pissed off about the game or how you played or how you coached or whatnot. So yeah, we learned along the way. I think it was a learning because we both have never done it. But for me, it was great. It was a great experience for me. I did not realize that the the last Talking Dex game in the playoffs this past was going to be the last
Yeah.
game he'd be coaching me. But I think he'd be coaching me forever anyway. At
Yeah,
least
definitely.
from the house. So yeah, definitely a great experience.
So even with that, Aaron, like up to this day, your dad will always give you like pointers on how to train, how to get better. That relationship is really close when it comes to like at least in the basketball aspect, aside from being, of course, your dad.
Yeah, we're close. My dad, he people think he's a serious guy. He's not. We joke around all the time.
Mhm.
Basically, half our conversations are jokes. Um, and just like I said, we learned along the way, and it started to go from, for me at least, from okay, I'm really pressured right now to, oh, this is fun. Like, we'll trash talk each other on the court if I make a mistake, and I'll come back and score, and I'll look at him like, oh, what are you gonna say now? And things like that. It really helped us even become even closer, because even before this, we were already close. Um, so yeah, to the people who always say that, oh, it must be tough. Yeah, it was tough at first, but for me, I wouldn't trade in that experience for anything.
That's great to know. Like a lot of, I'm learning a lot of new things here. So who was I just want to ask this as well. Who was the first player that gave you your welcome to the league moment in the PBA?
I give this story all the time. Paul Lee did. Um, and I think it was, we were playing Magnolia. I was having a really good game, and for some reason I was switched off to Paul Lee, and he hit me with a cross. I went one way, was able to recover, and then he stepped back. As soon as I recovered, he shot it about 27, 28 feet and made it. I thought I was playing good defense, and I knew then, I was like, oh, I'm here. I'm in the league. So yeah, that was probably my welcome to the PBA moment.
And that's like a Damian Lillard type of shot, the way you described it. But not
Yeah,
not the yeah, but it's more of the 27 feet and the series of
yeah,
moves.
it was bad. It wasn't so bad that I fell, but if you had watched the video over again, if I had that video, you'd know I was cooked. I was cooked that play. So
Could be
yeah.
on YouTube because they upload the full games, right? So you could
I hope
just
they don't. I hope it's gone. I hope nobody's no, I'm just kidding.
we
But
can have
yeah.
it request to be removed.
Yeah.
So now with Meralco, we've been there for 3 years. Which teammate are you the closest to, and why?
I'm close to a lot of the guys.
No-
To be honest, I could name a lot. I sit right next to Jego Dario, and he's probably the closest guy because we grew up together and we've been close ever since. Chris Newsom and I have gotten close throughout the years, especially we were at Gilas this past and
Mhm.
um Cliff Hodge would probably be one of the guys we went to a camp when it was still pandemic. We had to go outside of the city to go into a camp and play basketball. So we were roommates for about almost 2 months, and I learned a lot from him. He's great. Close to Frankie, I'm close to Anjo, to Bong, to
Almost
Raymond,
everybody.
Elaine, Kuya Elaine. I'm the ninong of his of
Every
his of his son. So almost everybody, honestly, if not everybody, we're a pretty close knit team. I think with us, like it's more family than team. So a lot of the guys, I'm really close with.
you gotta love that because some guys usually just after the game is done they go home and then don't really much make an effort. But it's amazing to hear that from you, Aaron. And so now in Cambodia, I think we were having this conversation before that I was really happy that you made it to Giras being considered part of the pool, at least in the training pool. How were the trainings for that like? Because we would see that sometimes it's not complete to not to a bit complete. So how was that whole thing with the media being present there? I'm assuming there were media there, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, to me, the media, they're great people.
Yeah,
They're just doing their jobs.
yeah.
It's more of the comments on their
The
on their
comments.
on their posts, on the spin posts. It's not their fault. They can't
Yeah.
control that. Um, you know, I think from the start, people knew what we were getting into. We had just come back from the PBA. The guys were coming back from vacation. Everybody was not really in shape, but we slowly got there. I think the camp helped a lot. I'm just kind of bummed, because the whole time I had knee problems the whole
Yeah.
last conference. So I was kind of bummed, that I wasn't able to really practice the way I wanted to, or play the way I wanted to, and ultimately wasn't able to be part of the 12. But at the same time, I know it was a great opportunity to be able to learn from everybody, to be in that environment, and at the same time, I'm looking forward to maybe another experience of finally making the 12. Hopefully, I'm healthy at the time, and getting a chance to play again for Gilas.
Why not, man? You're already part of the pool. You're still young, still a lot of mileage left on
Yeah.
those knees. So can't wait to see you play for Gilas in the future. Let's you gotta
Thank
manifest
you.
it.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to play. As long as I'm healthy, I'll be available. I'll be there.
Love it. And especially maybe I mean it doesn't stop here in the World Cup, right? There's still a lot of tournaments left to be played, and the road to redemption
Yeah,
hopefully starts this year. And
definitely.
this this one aired. So since you mentioned that you're injured, when will when can people watch you in PBA on tour? I think a month from now. Is that like a
I don't really know. The timetable that the doctor gave me was 4 to 6 weeks. Um, I'm going on my third week already by tomorrow. No, by Saturday I'll be on my third week, going on my third week. So hopefully by my fourth week I can start running. I haven't done any running, haven't done any jumping, just all strengthening, and I can just shooting and things like that, but I can't be jumping around. So hopefully by the fourth week I can do my plyos and all that, and then by the fifth and sixth week start to do more drills on the court, and then we'll see. But I'm trying to get back as fast as possible. I don't like sitting out, bro. It's not fun. I enjoy what
for
I do.
sure.
I love playing basketball. So sitting out is really weird for me. And also because thankfully I haven't had a major injury since the bubble in Clark, the second bubble, which was almost 2 years ago. So yeah, so I'm excited to go back, to get back. Kind of sad. I think I won't be able to play in Quezon. We're going out of town.
Oh yeah.
I will be able to, I'll be there, but I don't think I'll reach. Maybe I will. We'll see, but I don't think it's not looking like I will.
Yeah, no need to force it, man. I mean, we want you
Yeah,
to
and
be
I
a
love
hundred
playing out of
percent.
town. Like I really
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the AllStar experience. So I love playing out of town. So hopefully we have more out of town games this coming conference in October.
Yeah, I forgot to ask it, like how's the All-Star thing? Was it there a lot of people in the stadium? They were really
It was
like
full.
engaged with the
Bro,
players.
everywhere we went over there was crazy. You were just mobbed by people. And Iloilo's a great place. I love Iloilo. It's one of my favorite cities in the country, and I've been there so many times. So I really enjoyed the experience. Especially I was around a lot of my Ateneo guys over there. So
Tyler,
so it
I
was a lot of
remember
it was a
Tyler
lot.
was there. Yeah.
Tyler, Adrian, Anton, Sean, Mike, Matt wasn't there. Mike, I'm
Gian.
missing one more. Gian, yeah. So it was a lot of fun.
I'm not sure if I saw it on your Instagram, but somebody posted like the Atenean photos in the PBA.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I remember that one. It's like
There's
wow,
a
dan
lot. There's
palang
a lot of
Atenista.
Ateneans in the PBA. Yeah. People don't realize how many Ateneans, especially now. From my team, there's just a bunch of guys. Even Chris Porter's there as well, and I think we should be about 8 or 9 from that group, and we still have Rafi Verano going to the draft. I think he's going to the draft. I'm not sure if he's decided yet. And I think we have a couple more guys going to the draft coming up. So hopefully we're more moving forward.
Yeah, those are your batchmates, the one you were with
Bro.
back in college.
Yeah.
Last thing here, like for Meralco, are you guys gonna have like new players? Because I think I saw the roster of TNT and they have guys from San Beda. Not sure how it is for Meralco, or will it be most likely the same? Or will Chris be sitting out and then some other guy will be coming in?
Well, we just traded for Norbert Torres, so he'll be
Oh
part
yeah,
of that.
Robert
Yeah,
Torres.
he'll be part of that. Um, I think we signed, or we brought up Jeff Manday from our 3-on-3 team. Excuse me. I'm not sure if the other 3-on-3 guys will be put up because we have a lot of guys out right now. I don't think New will be playing. And I won't be playing for the first, month and a half. So we'll see. For now, I think it's just Norbert and Jeff Manday who will be the new guys. But moving forward, maybe there will be, depending on, I guess, who's injured, who's out for certain games. So
Well, can't wait to see you back on the court, man. I
thank
mean,
you,
there's a
appreciate it.
lot. There's a long hiatus between the PB before the next season, the PBA because of the World Cup. And who knows, right? There's gonna be a lot of training. We don't know who's gonna be included in the pool yet. Who knows, right? We'll never know. We might see an Aaron Black there,
Hmm.
out of nowhere.
I would definitely enjoy that experience. Hopefully, I'm healthy by that time. But yeah,
Wag mo lang madiliin.
that
Wag mo lang
should
madiliin.
yeah that should be fun. Definitely would be an honor to be part of that pool.
And Aaron, before we cap this off, where can people follow you?
Oh yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram. Wait, Aaron Black _1. Not really. Don't really use my Twitter unless I'm talking about the Lakers and they're out.
Oh yeah,
So, but
shoot.
over there, I'm Aaron Black _8. I'm supposed to change it to 1 because I wore 8 in college and I haven't changed my Twitter. That's how much I don't really use it. I just read stuff on there. But yeah, follow me on there. I have a TikTok, but I do not use it much. So just follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Post most of my stuff on Instagram. So yeah,
And for those listening on YouTube, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and then on Spot. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. Again, Aaron, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the
for
time,
sure.
and I hope to see you in person because I already saw Tyler, I think a few months back. So ikaw naman
Yeah,
sa susunod,
come to a game,
hopefully.
bro. Come to a game
I
if you
did. I
can.
think was it your game, but when I watched it? Well, when I come, well after the World Cup, most likely, I'll say hi.
Yeah, October. Just text me, bro. I'll get you a ticket.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Let me know.
That's great. I can't wait to see you in person, man. And
Yeah, for sure, bro.
see you next time, Aaron. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. See you soon.
See you.